Hey YouTube, Moosecap here. Hey, today I'm going to be doing my first ammo, I don't even want to say review, we'll just call it comparison. But before I start, I wanted to mention another YouTube channel by the name of The Daily Shooter. If you guys, I know I don't have a big audience, but if you happen to stumble onto my this video, go ahead and check his channel out. He has a lot of good videos, and even though he has some videos that you know, it's kind of common and it's out there, his videos are really enjoyable to watch. You know, I'll still click on and watch his things even though I know about it or something, just for the entertainment value. So I think you guys will enjoy it. And I'm mentioning him because he inspired me, and it was his idea that I do an ammo review. After watching one of his ammo review videos, I made a comment, and he thought that he made a suggestion that I do a review on it. So here you go. But before this goes any far, if you're thinking that I'm doing a gelatin penetration test or any of that stuff, if you're interested in that, you could stop watching, because that's not what this video is all about. And I'm not going to even get into too in depth about the velocity rate and all this. I'm just going to do maybe like comparison, what it's supposed to do, what they're designed to do, and why I chose the rounds that I chose. Okay, so I know, first of all, this ammo is not on the title. These are Glaser. I don't know if you've ever heard of it. Some people think that they are a little bit gimmicky. In my opinion, it feeds reliably. By the way, I've tested all this ammo on my handguns, and they all feed reliably, so that that's a good thing. But at the end of the day, it goes down the barrel. It shoots. It's gonna get the job done, basically. But this is one of my first home gun defense ammo that I bought. This was before I even got to buying guns, and I became a gun enthusiast. I bought my first handgun, which was Glock 23, and I had that for a couple of years until I really got into guns and started buying more handguns and rifles and just guns in general. But now I'm getting off the topic. But the reason I didn't put this on the title is because this is it's a little bit different, because I'm doing a 9mm comparison, 999, and this is the 40 Smith & Wesson. But I just wanted to put it out there because I have it. I still use it as one of my home defense rounds, and I just want to mention it real quick. So what this bullet's designed to do, or ammo is designed to do, well, like most high quality ammo, everything's clean, looks great, fits reliably. It is brass case though, compared to all this nickel case. But what's it's designed to do is there's a little plastic piece at the end. Man, I wonder if that's gonna come out. Yeah. And basically, it's behind this plastic or round, soft polymer plastic ball. I wouldn't call it polymer. It's more like rubbery plastic. Behind it is little tiny pellets, metal pellets, almost like a birdshot kind of thing, but maybe even a little bit smaller. And once it hits the target torso or whatnot, it'll shoot out. It'll spread out like a shotgun blast. And it's supposed to be less penetrating. Now, the reason I picked this back then was I was a bachelor. I lived in a condo by myself, basically like an apartment. Adjoining to another condo next to my place was, just, I'm assuming, just drywall. So I was really looking for a round that's not gonna penetrate as much. If I have an intruder, if I have to use my gun for self-defense, I was really worried about going through a wall and hurting, my neighbors or something like that. And I figured, if realistically, if you start shooting, most likely the guy's gonna run away. Even if I shoot and I don't get enough penetration, at that point, I'm just trying to get him out of my place. Most likely, it's not gonna be like, okay, corral, and we're gonna have a gun battle in my, in my apartment or condo. So I figured it would just get the job done, and so that's why I chose that round. And I've seen other videos where I thought it was pretty effective. It went through 2 drywalls. Well, it went through the first drywall and was like a 40 caliber size hole, like you would expect. And then after like the second drywall, then you could already see that by the second drywall, the hole is the size of about a little bit bigger than a quarter. And after that, they had a target behind it, and at that point, all the stuff from the metal pieces, or the little metal balls or shots, were hitting the target like a burst shot. And in a ballistic gelatin, that happens. I would say like inch or two right after it hits the ballistic gelatin, it just spreads. It just spreads out. So sometimes I would think, man, I wouldn't want to be shot with this, because with those pellets flying everywhere, there's a lot more chance of hitting vital organs. And even if it didn't, man, I wouldn't want to be laying in a hospital and the doctor have to basically scrape that thing off of you instead of going in and just pulling out one solid bullet. So anyways, there's that. So I still use it. Oh, and the reason I have different ammos is because I have a couple, or we'll just say few safes. And in my safe, I like to keep a loaded handgun sometimes. And then, of course, I'm not going to put it like where all my handguns are, but I usually have it hidden with the magnet under the shelf or something like that. And sometimes I don't, but when I do, I have different ammos and the way I set it up. And I go over that later. But anyways, so the next one is Winchester Supreme Elite PDX. It's basically high-end premier jacketed hollow point. Like I said, I mean, I'm not an expert on ammo and ammo testing, but only thing I could do is like watch other videos, do my research, and shoot it at the range. And like I said, it's very reliably, shot accurately. From my research, it expands consistently for the most part. Now, because it's just traditional hollow point, now there is a chance that material could get clogged up there and up in the hole. And of course, there's a chance that this may not expand and become basically a full metal jacket. Which brings me to my next point, which is the Guarddog. I don't know if you heard of this or not. To me, this isn't really gimmicky. To me, this makes sense. It works. Basically, how this bullet works is, or ammo works, is that, or the bullet is, there's a thin metal casing around it, and inside is a gelatin plastic. And basically, what this is designed to do, this is not a full metal jacket, by the way. I know it looks like it. So what's designed to do is, after the bullet hits object, and I like that it didn't have to be like real like hard object either. It starts working right away. Is that this thing collapses? This bullet collapses, and all that gel that's inside gets pushed out. So instead of this relying on jacketed hollow, like traditional jacketed hollow point, like instead of it having to need to open up, all this bullet needs to do is just crush. And because this metal isn't, it's very thin, that's going to happen. And all that plastic gelatin that's inside, it's one of those high-tech, quick drying plastic. So it's pretty soft in there, but once it hits oxygen or air, once it escapes this bullet, then it hardens. And you have all these like plastic squeezing out like into like a star shape, I guess. If you're interested, check out the video. I'm sure you could find it on YouTube, but to me it works. And another good thing about this bullet is that if you have modern handguns, you're not going to have really issue with. But if you have a particular handgun or a pistol that's not have feeding issues on some hollow points because of the bullet shape, or if you have old handguns or pistol that that may not like a traditional jacket hollow point because it's not a round full metal jacket, this should fit reliably just because it's totally covered and there should be nothing snagging on the feed ramp. So from what I understand, it's supposed to fit reliably because of that. But I don't know. That's what I researched. I can't. Don't take my word for it. I haven't tried. Just because on my guns I've tried this fed reliably, so I never had it. Or I don't own a gun that's like that. That's very finicky and has feeding issue with jacketed hollow points. So I couldn't really say. But anyway, that's what I read, and through my research, that's what I found out. So yeah, and like I said, one of the major thing I like about this is that it doesn't rely on the jacket opening up for expansion. Just something needs to hit here, basically, and this bullet, it will collapse, and it will just collapse inwards. And as that happens, all this plastic stuff is going to be basically being squeezed out of there, and that gives it that that opens it up, makes it bigger, flatter bullet. And then this last one, I actually got this as a gift. I think it was a Christmas gift. Yeah, it was last Christmas gift, and I actually like it a lot. It's the Hornady Critical Defense. And by the way, this 135 grain plus P. 105 grains. 124 plus P. And Glaser was 105 or something like that. But anyways, the Hornady Duty. And what I like about this is that this is your typical premium ammo too, with nickel casing and everything. But this one has the flex tip, basically like a rubberized polymer that prevents anything from being clogged up, like a PDX. Like I said, you don't really see that many people complaining about PDX. Like if anything does really get clogged up there and turns it into basically a full metal jacket, not expanding. But I guess theoretically it could happen with this one. This design so that doesn't happen. So that it's already plugged in with those rubberized plastic. So that'll push inward. That'll help open up this jacket. And that's the idea behind it. And then the thing about one more thing, there's critical duty and critical defense. Now there's a lot of videos comparing it, this and that. I think TN Outdoor, he does a good review. If you want to see a comparison, look at the critical duty one, because he does the review of the critical duty, and it's a little bit of a comparison between the critical duty and the defense. Now he does a separate video on critical defense, but watch the duty if you want more of a comparison. But to tell you in short what the difference is, critical duty was designed by Hornady to pass the FBI test. The FBI test, they go through gelatin. It has to go 12 inches in a ballistic gelatin, and it has to go through certain barriers like car windshield, and then they see how many inches it needs to go in 12 inches, and sheet metal and stuff like that. So critical duty was designed for that, and so because it needs to be a little bit more, it needs to have a little bit more punch, heavier bullet, more punch behind the bullet. This is more designed for your full-size handguns, and it's gonna, it needed to be a little bit. It needs to have a little bit more punch to pass those tests. Now, to put it in a nutshell, critical defense is more for your civil. They realize that civilians is not gonna need all that. They just and a lot of times civilians or regular Joe, they're gonna have shorter barrel handguns, CCW handguns. So they're trying to give you an option of an ammo that has less recoil, less gunpowder, less punch, a little bit lighter round. So that's basically what it is. So if you have a short barrel, like a CCW, a subcompact handgun or something like that, you want to go, probably critical defense will be better. And if you have a full size and you want that penetration that passed the FBI test, then critical duty would be your choice. And lastly, before I finish up this video, the way I set it up is if I had to choose one, I guess I'd choose a Guarddog. I like it a lot. What I do is I do 6 rounds on top with my Guarddog. And then next 2 rounds at the bottom will be the critical duty. And the last 2 rounds down here will be the PDX. And the reason I set it up that way is because the way I see it, Guarddog should do the job, but if I'm not getting into penetration, then I'm going with that, critical duty, and this is most likely that it'll possibly turn into a full metal jacket not expanding. That's why I put that at the bottom here. But anyway, that's how I set it up, and this is my first review. Please be gentle in the comments there. Anyways, thanks for watching, guys, and please like and subscribe. Bye.